Hello everyone. Today, I have a story for you. It is simple, it is emotional, and it carries a lesson many people need right now. By the end of this story, you'll see how self-respect and self-worth can change your life. Rivermist Valley was a calm place where mornings began with golden sunlight and the soft hum of the river. The hills looked like gentle guardians watching over the people below. In this quiet valley lived Mira, a girl known for her kindness. She laughed easily, helped everyone, and always tried to make others feel welcome. But Mira had one secret weakness. She had a habit of chasing people who walked away from her. If someone ignored her, she tried harder. If someone didn't reply, she messaged again. If someone made her feel small, she still held on to them. She believed affection had to be earned, even when others gave none back. Mira worked in Aunt Rahela's bakery. Every morning, warm smells filled the street. Soft bread, sweet buns, crispy pastries. The bakery was always full of chatter and the clinking of teacups. People loved it, but inside, Mira felt lonely, like she was standing in a crowd, but none of the faces truly saw her. One afternoon, while walking home, she spotted a tiny brown sparrow on an old fence. One wing was slightly bent. The bird looked tired but calm. Mira knelt down. "You poor little one," she whispered. The sparrow blinked but didn't fly away. Mira smiled softly and left a few crumbs before heading home. Something about the bird warmed her heart. Someone stayed near her, even for a moment. The next morning, she returned. The sparrow was gone. A sharp ache hit her chest. "Everything leaves," she murmured. "Everything." She walked to the bakery slowly, her eyes on the ground. Aunt Rahela noticed. "You're quiet today," she said kindly. Mira simply replied, "Just tired," and continued kneading dough, her hands moving automatically. That week, something even more upsetting happened. Mira's closest friend, Rima, suddenly became distant. She stopped visiting the bakery, stopped answering messages, and even turned away when Mira tried to wave. Mira felt confused, desperate, and scared of losing another person. One day, outside the market, she finally gathered courage. "Rima," she said softly, "are you upset with me?" "What happened?" Rima looked at her coldly. "I'm just busy, Mira. You don't need to follow me around, okay?" The words hit her like ice water. People around them shouted, bargained, and laughed, but Mira heard nothing, only her racing heartbeat. She walked away, chest tight and eyes burning. That evening, she sat by the river at her favorite spot, a quiet bend where willow branches dipped into the water. The sunset painted the sky orange and gold, but Mira felt only sadness. Suddenly, a familiar chirp broke the silence. The little sparrow landed beside her. Mira's tears softened. "Why does everything leave me?" she whispered. "Why do I always have to chase?" The sparrow tilted its head as if listening. The river whispered, the wind hummed, and Mira felt a strange sense of calm. Until she heard voices behind her. Two girls from the village were walking along the river path. They didn't see Mira, but she heard them clearly. "Did you hear what Rima said?" one girl whispered. "She said Mira is too clingy and emotional. And she tells everyone Mira runs after her like a shadow." Their giggles echoed in the quiet air. Mira froze. Her hands went cold. A deep sting spread across her chest. So this was the truth. It wasn't that Rima was busy. Rima was laughing at her behind her back. Mira's eyes filled with tears, not soft ones, but sharp, painful tears that carried years of silent chasing. The sparrow chirped again, almost like it was urging her to breathe. Mira whispered shakily, I didn't know she felt that way." For a moment she wanted to run, to hide, to disappear. But instead, she stayed. She stared at the slow-moving river and let every emotion rise like a wave. Hurt, betrayal, confusion, anger, and finally, stillness. As the last light of sunset faded, a strong realization hit her. She wasn't losing people. People who didn't value her were losing her. She touched the small bird gently. "I shouldn't run behind anyone," she said. "If someone wants to go, I must let them go." The sparrow fluttered its wings as if agreeing. For the first time in a long time, Mira felt something powerful awaken inside her. Self-respect. The next morning at the bakery, Mira walked differently. Her steps were steady, her smile gentle but real. She served customers, laughed with them, and didn't look at her phone once. Aunt Rahila watched her quietly. "You look stronger today," the old woman said. Mira nodded. "I made a choice." "What choice?" "To stop chasing people." Aunt Rahila smiled proudly. "That is wisdom most adults never learn." Days passed. Rima never came to the bakery. She never apologized. She never looked for Mira again. But something interesting happened. New people entered Mira's life. A girl from the tailor shop began visiting her during breaks. A friendly customer offered to teach her painting on weekends. A young boy started helping her feed the sparrow who now visited daily. These people didn't want anything from her. They didn't run. They didn't hide. They stayed. One evening, Mira stood outside the bakery. The sky glowed pink. The sparrow sat on her shoulder, chirping softly. She smiled. Her life felt brighter, not because everyone stayed, but because she finally stopped chasing those who didn't want to. So if you ever feel ignored, unimportant, or left behind, remember this story. Remember, you don't need to run after anyone. The people who belong in your life will stay by choice, not by force. Take a deep breath and remember, every action has a reaction, and choosing self-respect always leads to a better life. Let go, grow, and let the right souls find you.